could it be? But me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the command post. You know what it is. Post up. Take command. I, of course, am your set man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. So much to get to on this episode. I'm going to try to cram it into a small condensed package. So listen up. First things first, this is going to be a very frenetic finish to May. I am going to absolutely overwhelm you with content, so I hope you're ready. You're going to hear from me just about every single day the remaining 11 days or so of this month, however many days are left. So just be on the lookout for that. All right. What I'm hoping to do and how this is going to work is I'm releasing a new mini series. It's a limited series, so this isn't something you should expect all the time. It's a limited series. It should start Wednesday. Okay. It will conclude on Monday. So you'll get a video upload every single day from this series from Wednesday to Monday. So be looking out for that. Obviously, it's a holiday weekend, so my schedule is a little bit different this week. So instead of live streaming on Thursday for the command post live on Thursday night at 9:30 p, I will be live for the command post live on Wednesday night at 9:30 p. So one day prior to when we normally stream live, I will be live for that show in conjunction with the start of this new limited series. So again, be on the lookout for that. No live stream on Thursday. It's going to be on Wednesday. You probably won't hear from me in a new upload capacity until after the holiday. It's my anniversary weekend, so we getting it in. I assure you, no new kids will be produced this weekend, but we'll practice. That is for sure. Anyhow, hoping that all of this culminates in a brand new episode of the Super Friends stream. I'm working behind the scenes to try to get that up and running. And if everything goes successfully, that'll happen on Tuesday, May the 30th. So mark your calendars for that. If everything goes the way that I plan, Tuesday, May 30th will be a Super Friends stream, 8 o'clock p. Me and the boys will be chopping it up, talking about family business of the NFC East variety. So again, this month is going to end with a bang. So hopefully you'll be able to join me for all of that. So next order of business is all charges have been dropped in the Andrew Luck case. The feds jumped in. Obviously, old Jim Irsay went running to the feds, to the Alphabet boys, and they came knocking on the door with a little warrant for our arrest. We went and got our high-powered attorney. He went and said, hey, man, it's not enough evidence here. Need you to go ahead and drop these charges. And the Alphabet boys agreed. No charges to be filed in this case. Big ups to Andrew Luck and his peoples for making sure that this thing didn't have any legs and it didn't go any further than Irsay running his mouth. So I guess for now, Ron and company are off the hook. They easily could have been indicted here and taken to court, had a trial, and we could have been found guilty. Had that happened, I told you I needed heads to roll. Obviously, we don't have to explore that anymore. All charges have been dropped. Let's move on with our lives. So that's now in the rear view mirror. The next order of business, I was very, very vigilant over the weekend. I watched a lot of videos. I'm going to talk about a lot of that on the podcast today for those of you who are interested. But in watching all of these videos and all the things that I watched, I stumbled upon a video on the 33rd Team, which is a website that covers the NFL, and they do actually do a really good job. I actually, quite enjoy, and you guys have probably seen the channel. If you watch any of the Kurt Warner breakdowns, that's on the, he has his own channel. I misspoke there. I think I redirected you to a Ron Rivera interview that was done with former NFL coach Dave Wanstead. That was on the 33rd team. And so what the 33rd team is essentially is a website made up of ex-NFL players and coaches and personnel staff that have a unique look or outlook on the NFL. And because of their relationships that they've established over time being in the NFL, they're able to then get, interviews with guys that you wouldn't normally see interviews being had, just like the Ron Rivera one. He wasn't going to take that interview with just anybody, but Dave Wanstead is a guy that he goes way back with. He talked about it during that interview, and that's part of the reason that Ron did that interview in season. That was an in-season interview. So in any event, they just had an upload with Mike Martz talking about Sam Howell. And if you haven't had a chance to check it out, I urge you to go and watch this. It's only 14 minutes long. He breaks down some film, and it to me is the most accurate depiction of what I think Sam Howell is. He's essentially saying everything that I've told you, and he's showing you it. And there's still some concerns, and all of the concerns that he raised, I've raised, and I've talked about it. And so I want you to watch this video. We're going to be live on Wednesday night because I want to talk about this video in particular and kind of go over some of the things he mentioned, and then even point out some things that he left out of the video that I thought he could have even added into the video as some things to look out for, because I thought there were some examples of some of the things that he was concerned about. There were some examples of that in the Dallas game that he could have highlighted that he left out. The exact play that he shows that he fumbles against UVA, that's the exact same play that happens in the Dallas game. But we'll talk more about that. And I've talked about it. Like, Sam can't be Superman. If it's not there, get rid of it, right? Watch the video. I'm going to pin the link to that video in the comment section of this video. So it'll be at the very top for those of you who don't want to go looking for it. The thumbnail for that video is the exact same thumbnail for this video, so you can't miss it. But I'm going to pin that video link in the comment section so that you can just click on it and go and watch it if you haven't already. I know most of you guys are all over this stuff. You've probably already watched it by now, but if you haven't, it is a very good watch. Now, the real reason that I came to chop it up with you guys today was I wanted to react to the video that we had over the weekend. And I talked about the joint practices with the Ravens, and that was kind of burying the lead, so to speak, because the real reason that I ended up chopping it up with you guys over the weekend was to kind of gauge how you felt about a potential rebrand. We've heard so much about this during the last couple of weeks with this transition that is seemingly taking place. It's taking a lot longer than I would like it to, but we know it's going to happen. Dan and Tanya aren't even at the league meetings that started today, so that's even more of an indication that this shit is over. When they issued the statement that it was over and that the sale was pretty much going through, that told you all you needed to know. But this is further proof that this thing is definitely going down. It's just a matter of when at this point, not a matter of if. But with that said, a lot of speculation on what the Harris Group is going to do, what's going to be one of the first orders of business when they get in the building and take over this organization. And so there's something else that I didn't talk to you guys about. I'm going to talk about it on Wednesday. I'm going to save it for Wednesday. I should have talked to you about this already. It's a great article that you must read if you really want some insight into what they're looking at with this organization, how they view the organization, where they're looking to take this thing, and how they're looking to grow it. It's a great read, and I'll have the link for you with all of that, and maybe even pull some excerpts out, and we'll read them together. But nonetheless, I wanted to see how you guys felt about a potential rebrand. That's been one of the hot topics among the fan base ever since we got wind of the Harris Group purchasing this team for roughly $6.05 billion. And I've made it known, that I really don't want to make another switch. I really don't want to go through another rebrand. The only way I would be, fully 110% on board and please do it, is if they were going back to Redskins, which we know can never happen. So at this point, I am somewhat content with where we are. But if they made another switch, I told you I'm not passionate enough to where I'm willing to resist change again. I made the analogy of, the military family that is constantly moving 5 schools in 4 years. Every time you start to make friends, you got to pack your stuff and move to another town or another state. And you're just tired of moving. You're ready to settle in. That's where I'm at. Okay. To go from the Redskins in the summer of 2020 to the Washington football team, from the Washington football team to the Commanders, I just kind of want to stay put. Yeah, some of you have griped about the uniforms and the color scheme. I don't have a problem with any of the uniforms, even the white one. I get it that the burgundy may not be as burgundy as the actual burgundy uniforms, and there's the gray and all of that stuff, and that stuff bothers you. Jason Wright had already explained to me all of the particulars of why they did what they had to do with these uniforms. It is what it is. I'm not really tripping about any of it. Some of you don't like the black. I get the fact that they look Steelerish and you would like them to have a better design. I'm not opposed to that, but I do actually like the black being incorporated into the color scheme. That said, at the end of the day, reading your comments was very refreshing, because what it did for me was it confirmed what I thought, but I wasn't sure. It confirmed it for me. We are all over the place on this thing. There's no concrete answer. And honestly, I feel bad for the Harris group, because there is absolutely no way that they can win with this situation. The very first thing they're going to do is show up and piss people off. And that is no way to be. And that's so unfortunate, because this is what we've wanted for so long. We wanted new ownership. We wanted a new group to come in here. And the first thing people are going to do is they're going to chastise them for not changing this or not doing that, instead of just welcoming them in with open arms, being so excited that they're here. They're going to be, the first thing they're going to do is bombard them. You should change this. You should change that. And if they don't change anything, it's going to piss off a section of the fan base. If they do change it and they change it to something that they don't like, it's going to piss off that section of the fan base. If they do change it and they change it to something else, it's going to piss off another sector of the fan base. And if they decide to not change it at all, it's going to piss off a bunch of people. And if they decide to change it to this, but don't change the uniforms, or they decide to change the uniforms, but don't change the name, that's going to piss off some people. So you can't win if you're the Harris group. It's unfortunate. And all your comments did was further drive that point home. Okay. If they don't name it Red Wolves, it's still going to be a faction of the fan base that's still pissed off. If they don't change the uniforms, there's still going to be a faction of the fan base that's pissed off, because there's still remnants of Dan and Tanya Snyder. If they don't change this or they don't change that, then it's crazy. It's just, to me, it's insane that you can't just let them settle in. First of all, I remember going to a meeting with Jason Wright and him saying that they got to have these uniforms for at least, I think it's 3 years. So it's not like they're going to be able to come in and take these uniforms, strip them down, and get new ones just like that. All right. I think there's still another 2 years or so before they can even do anything with these uniforms. So I don't think that's going to be something that's going to be instant anyway. However, nothing seems to be instant when it comes to changing things. There's a lot of processes that you have to go through, because there's a lot of money involved in printing these uniforms and, getting all of those, rid of all of those if you can. All of that stuff is taken into consideration. At the end of the day, what I've found reading your comments, and they spanned from, from one end of the spectrum to I really don't give a shit, I just want to win, to the other end of the spectrum, right? Is that we're all over the place, which is what happens when you've been a detached fan base and you've been scattered all over the place and you've been battered and bruised as we've been for the last 2 decades plus. This is what happens. You can't agree on anything. The only thing we could agree on is that we wanted Daniel Snyder gone. Now that he's actually gone, we're back to disagreeing on every damn thing. And so it's really unfortunate, because the group that's going to bear the brunt of this is the new ownership group. They're going to come in here and they're going to be bombarded right away. Change this, change that, RFK site, get us a new stadium. And it's so, 20 years of frustration and all of the things that have happened recently over the last 3 to 4 years, we're going to absolutely overload them with all of that stuff in the matter of a week or two of them taking over this team. I hope they're ready. And I hope they have pretty thick skin, because they're going to be criticized no matter what it is they do. And to me, that's really unfortunate. But such is life. So that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T. I can't wait to chop it up with you guys on Wednesday night. Hopefully you'll go check out the video if you haven't already done so on Sam Howell, and what Mike Martz thinks about Sam Howell on the 33rd team. Again, I'm leaving the link in the comment section of this video. I will pin it to the top of the comment section, so you don't have to go very far. You can click that link. It'll take you straight to the video, and you can check it out for yourself. We will discuss that video, so it'd be in your best interest to go and watch it. If you don't, we'll still talk about it, and you'll get the gist of what we're discussing even if you don't check it out. It's only 14 minutes. If you got 14 minutes to spare, I think it's a good 14 minutes to use of your time. But in any event, be on the lookout for content. I'm going to be overloading you. Hopefully you'll be able to get to all of it. I'm not going to apologize because it is a lot, but it is a lot. I'll just say that. But check it out if you got a chance. And I know it's going to be a busy weekend for most of you, Memorial Day weekend. So if you don't get to it, you don't get to it. If you do, great. I appreciate you as always. In any event, you guys have a good one. Take care. You know what it is. Post up. Take command. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.